Welcome to the Champion Faction, where I share my love of Stonemaier Games. I'm Jason Martin, and today I'm here to talk about some really big news from Stonemaier. In this morning's live chat, Jamie made two very big announcements about new game products. First, Tapestry's Fantasies and Futures. Now, not much has been announced about this. It's basically a more stuff expansion. And so we're going to learn more about that later in February. So I'm going to wait to talk about that a little bit. But the big news was a brand new game coming from Stonemaier actually this summer called Expeditions. Now, Expeditions is a game, a new game in the 1920 plus world of Scythe. So the same world that Scythe takes place in. In fact, it's a direct sequel to Scythe. It's a deck building, hand management, engine building game, and players control a large mech that they move around on a modular landscape board made up of various hex tiles. Now, this is all really big news because fans of the game Scythe, like myself, have been really wanting Jamie to return to that world in game design to see what else could be done and return to the beautiful art of Jacob Brzezalski. So if you're a fan of that world, a fan of the art, this game has a lot to offer. None of the art is reused from Scythe. It's all original art, returning to that world. None of the core game, the expansion of Scythes, none of that is being reused. It's all new. But in addition to that, the game also includes 6 large custom mechs, much larger than the ones used in Scythe, and that's what moves around the board to represent the player. They're really large, they're very unique, very different designs than what we saw in Scythe, and they also each have a special ability that each player can use throughout the game. So the game itself actually looks to be a little bit lighter than Scythe. Not that it's a light game, but it's not quite as heavy as Scythe in my opinion. There's still a lot of decisions to make, especially around like how you move your mech around the board, what cards you gain into your hand, what cards you choose to play, the abilities that you get to take advantage of on different spots of the board. So lots of decisions to make that ultimately add to the complexity of this game. Now, unlike Scythe, there is no direct combat, which, because of these large mechs, some people might end up having a problem with that. I don't, because the mechs do look cool moving around the board. But instead of direct combat, there's a lot of player interaction around what all you're trying to do in the game. So for one thing, the mechs cannot be on the same tile as another mech. And so that effectively blocks your mech's worker, if you will, from moving to the spaces you want sometimes, very much like a traditional worker placement game. Also, there are these face-up cards that you may be wanting to get. In fact, you probably will be wanting to get more of those cards. Well, the other players are going to be racing to get that too. And so all the cards are unique. Once a card is taken, it's gone. There won't be another one coming up. But then also you are placing stars on what's called these glory tracks, very similar to the stars that you place in Scythe. And those stars are glory, but it also kind of represents the timer of the game. As soon as a player places their 4th star, that's it. The game is over. No more turns for any player. And so there is this race to get cards. There's a race to complete quests. There's a race to put out those glory stars in order to finish the game, in order to get the most points. And so there's a lot of tension, a lot of interaction around those things. And like I said, the limitation on where you can go with regards to the other players' mechs. Now, in the coming months, there will be a lot more to learn about this game. There are no playthroughs online. There are no reviews. Those will be coming much later. But you can read the rulebook, both the rulebook for the core game as well as the Automa rulebook. Those have been made publicly available. You can go and read them now. Very well done, as you would expect from Stonemaier. But then there are also, you can pre-order today the game, but there are 2 different editions that you can choose from. There's the main game edition, which has all the components, of course, and is a beautiful production, as you would expect from Stonemaier game. But the mechs are plastic. They're plastic miniatures. There's also an Ironclad edition, kind of a deluxe edition that they're calling Ironclad, that instead of plastic mechs, the mechs are metal. So these like beautiful metal mechs. If you remember from Scythe, Jamie made a set of metal mechs for Scythe that you could buy separately, and those have been really well received. And so there's a new edition of this game, Ironclad Edition, that includes metal mechs. It also includes some rubber bases for the mechs instead of the plastic ones that the plastic mechs have. And then I think there's some foil lettering on the outside of the game box and individual numbering. So that's the difference between the Ironclad Edition and the base game edition. So the price for the base game is listed as $85, but during this pre-order, it's $16 off. So you can pre-order it for $69. The Ironclad Edition is listed at $115, but the pre-order price is $99. Now, of course, if you're a champion member, as I am, you, of course, get a 20% discount. If you're not a champion member, you might as well become one, because if you purchase one of these, you're essentially going to make your money back in the amount that you're going to save with the champion's discount. And those pre-orders are live right now. They also have metal coins, which I think are identical to the Scythe metal coin, with the exception of the $5 or the 5 coin. Jamie decided that it was too similar to the 10, and so they're red. There's a different color and maybe a little bit different design for the 5 coins as well. So you can get the metal coins. Those are in addition to, so those don't come with either the base game or the main base game or the Ironclad Edition. Those are an additional purchase, but that's available for pre-order as well. They also announced, of course, a Rolling Realms promo pack for expeditions for people who are into Rolling Realms. I've kind of decided to kind of back off on the Rolling Realms promos. I like Rolling Realms. It's not like one of my favorite games. I actually will have a review going up of it pretty soon. I think I'm going to be a little bit more discerning than I've been in the past around which promo packs I get. And so we'll see which ones I get. I probably will get this one just because it is a Stonemaier game. It is, set in the world of Scythe, the 1920 plus world. And so I probably will get that Rolling Realms promo, but I probably won't get every single one going forward. So as I previously mentioned, this is a pre-order, and it's a pre-order in the traditional sense that the game hasn't been made yet. It hasn't been printed. And so therefore it's going to take some time to print it, to ship it from the manufacturing plant in China, to get to the warehouse and then distributed. That's going to take a while. Jamie's been experimenting with this. I really appreciate the way that Jamie looks at new ways of fulfillment, of new ways of getting new products to customers. And so I like that he's trying new things. Me, personally, for my taste, I like the way that he's done it in the past where, he waits until the games are in the warehouse, ready to be distributed before even announcing the game. I like the build up and the anticipation that creates without losing momentum over the course of months. I find personally that when, like, for instance, if I back something on Kickstarter, a lot of momentum is lost between the end of the Kickstarter campaign and when I actually receive the game. That doesn't happen typically with Stonemaier. Now, this isn't going to be like a Kickstarter in the sense that it's going to be 9 months to a year or more waiting for a game. It's only Jamie expects these to be delivered maybe June, but more likely July, depending on how if there are delays in shipping and that kind of thing. But if all we're doing is waiting until July for this, okay, there's still going to be a lot of excitement. There's still going to be a lot of anticipation about this. Is it the same as ordering something now and having it delivered, say, a month from now? No, it's not. That for me, that's what I prefer. That's what I like about Stonemaier Games. I can understand and appreciate Jamie trying this as a new way to go about it. But I do hope that maybe he returns to the previous way of doing things more often than not. Now, I know as far as my channel goes, I haven't been posting very many videos lately. That's the way it goes. Life gets in the way, day job gets in the way. This is, I think, my first video in about 2 or 3 months. I'm hoping to post some more. I have a review of Rolling Realms I'm hoping to post soon. We'll learn a lot more about the Tapestry Fantasies and Future expansion later in February, so I'll probably post a video giving my thoughts, initial thoughts about that. And then hopefully more playthroughs, more reviews. I'll be posting those as I'm able to. So I appreciate your patience. Thank you so much for watching. As always, leave any feedback you may have. And until next time, I'm Jason Martin, and I'll be making my way to the factory as the champion faction. Bye, everybody.